Morning! We just parked up at Seathwaite Farm down Borrowdale, where today we're going to do a direct ascent of Glaramara via Hind Gill. From the summit of Glaramara we're going to head over Allen Crags and then back down Ruddy Gill and Grange Gill. This is Hind Gill just up here. It's a very steep ascent, but it's also very direct. It's been a very ropey morning. We've had a lot of rain, there's a bit of wind, so who knows what might happen, because when the rain comes it's been an absolute deluge. The rivers are in spate, so let's see how we get on. Look at this. Just here on our left, through this farm gate, is where we're going to start our ascent of Hind Gill. We need to cross this beck and it's in spate, so I think we'll get across it as soon as we can. Just down here is the normal way. We have one stepping stone. You'll have noticed on the channel lately we've been doing a lot of direct ascents. When I say direct ascent, what I mean is a route up a mountain straight to the summit, or as near to the summit as possible. That's my definition of a direct ascent. Usually very steep and usually very quick. Hind Gill is a steep one. The path up here is a bit sketchy. On the OS map there's a green line, an access path, but it's more or less straight. The path isn't straight, as you'll see from my GPX download. It's close to that green line, but it's not exactly on that green line, so if you follow that green line you'll probably end up off the path, or what path there is. With that, we're making ascent already. It's Base Brown behind us. We've got some beautiful light on the hills. As I said, that's Base Brown. Next door to Base Brown we've got Seathwaite Fell, and in the distance beyond Seathwaite Fell we've got Great End. And this huge great big buttress in front of me is called Hind Crag, and we're going to head round the left hand side of it following the gill. A wee bit further up here you'll find a gate in the wall. Head through it. The showers have been absolutely monstrous. Biblical, but they're lasting about 5-10 minutes, so I'm going to try avoiding the wet gear. If a shower comes in, I've got the poncho, I'll just chuck it over myself and the rucksack and sit the shower out. Here's that gate. Come on, Billy. Good boy. Straight through the gate, the path's going to zigzag through the bracken. As I said earlier, The green path on the Ordnance Survey map is a straight one, and by no means is this straight. The green path on the map is also about 10 metres to my right, which would put you right in the middle of that bracken in horrible ground. As you can see, me and Billy's bang on the path. It's no place to be off-piste. The entire gill is full of vegetation, trees, rocks, obstacles and water. So if you're not on the path, you really do need to find it. My first attempt of Hind Gill a few years back, I did exactly that. I missed the path and I ended up fighting my way up. Today, a much different story. We're absolutely steaming up it. 10 minutes from leaving the valley, we've ascended about 150 metres. There's the farm behind me. And we're currently about 300 metres. So we've still got a way to go yet. About 380 metres we hit this rock step, which was very, very slippy because of the rain, so we came round it and up through the water. We couldn't cross that, it was impossible. Because of that deluge of rain, that little section's turned into a river. It's not normally like that, it's normally a lot drier. We've got past it and it's dried up a bit. A little bit of hands-on stuff. To our right, beyond Basic Brown, you can now see Green Gable and Great Gable. Looks like we might have a shower of rain coming. We're about 600 metres now, and almost above Hind Gill. The rest is just a tussocky, wet, grassy finish, and then we'll be almost below the summit of Glaramara. There's a chunk of rain dropping over Derwent Water in the west there. And there's a chunk of rain there coming my way over the top of Great End. Batten down them hatches. This is what I was meaning about being able to chuck the poncho on very quickly. Keeps all the gear dry, keeps the cameras dry, keeps the rucksack dry. And like I say, the showers are literally 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes and then they're gone. So I can take it off and just put it handy until the next one comes. So this is the top of Hind Gill, and that's the top of Glaramara. And because of the heavy rain we've had, I'm going to avoid the scramble up the rock wall on the front. If you want to see that, I do have other Glaramara videos on YouTube featuring the scramble, but today, to make things safer, we're going to head round the right and up a grassy gully to the summit. Directly behind us we've got Coombe Head, which would drop you down to Coombe Door and eventually Tarnett Leaves and Bessie Boot. And in the distance we've got Castle Crag. Beyond Castle Crag we've got Derwentwater. Beyond Derwentwater we've got Skidder. The Northern Fells, the Northwestern Fells, and Glaramara looming straight in front of us. It's always been a favourite mountain of mine. I've been up here dozens and dozens of times. It's a huge, massive mountain, so be aware in bad weather because it's a very easy mountain to get lost on. So all this lot in front of me is the rocky, scrambly route onto Glaramara. Today we're going to avoid it and follow this faint path here to our right, which will take us up a much easier gully. Just up here. Follow the Rockstar. The summit of Glaramara, 783 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt, a Hewitt, a Nuttall and a Hump. Fantastic views from up here. Langdale Pikes, got the Southern Fells, the big hills, eventually leading to Scafell and Scafell Pike, but before that we're going to head to Allen Crags and then we're going to drop down Ruddygill and Grangegill. Great Gavel in the mist, the northern and northwestern fells now in the sunshine. We're just approaching Glaramara's Looking Steads, and we've got the proper wet gear on now. It's raining now more than it's not. We're still getting some fantastic views because it's coming in and out and it's very atmospheric, very windy too. From Looking Steads we'll head down to High House Tarn and then eventually on to Allen Crags. The summit of Glaramara's Looking Steads, 775 metres. It's a Nuttall and a Burkitt. We'll head over Glaramara's south top, Redbeck Top, and then we'll drop down to High House Tarn. So here we have Glaramara's south top, Redbeck Top. ...721 metres. It's a Hewitt, a Nuttall and a Burkitt. Fantastic views. Great Gable in the Clag. Great End. Scafell Pike beyond Allen Crags. The Langdale Pikes to our left, behind them the Coniston Fells. We're going to head down to the Tarn for some much needed shelter and then over Allen Crags. Wow, look at that light on Great End. The first tarns are Lincoln tarns, these ones down here, and High House tarns in the outcrop of rocks behind them. Very beautiful tarns. Look at that, Great End's almost gone again now. Everything is absolutely saturated. Rain's on again. And here we have the very beautiful High House Tarn. Next stop, Allen Crags. Dave Allen Crags, straight ahead of us. We're just approaching the summit of Allen Crags. Once again, a break in the weather. The summit of Allen Crags, 785 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt, a Hewitt and a Nuttall. Wow. It's quite a while since I was on Allen Crags, good few years. I forgot how nice it was. Fantastic view. Past Great End there, which will soon clear. We've got the Scar Fells. Esk Pike, Blowfell, and once again the Langdales in the distance. We're going to drop off a very windy Allen Crags down to the shelter, where we're going to take a right, head past Sprinkling Tarn, into Ruddy Gill, then into Grangegill, and then back down to Seathwaite Farm where we parked. So there's the cross shelter that marks the point below Great End, Esk Pike and the Scar Fells. We're going to turn right at this cairn just before it, drop down into the gill. We've got a ford we've got to cross just down here. Could be interesting after all the rain we've had. As you can see, I've got my new jacket on that I got at Christmas, and it's the first time I've had a good test in this jacket. It's actually a low alpine jacket. It's not Gore-Tex, it's Low Alpine's Triple Point, and I'm going to be honest with you, I get these Low Alpine jackets because they're absolute quality. Low Alpine don't make jackets anymore. so they're hard to get hold of, but you can still get hold of new ones on eBay or really good second-hand ones. In fact, this is a new one. The Triple Point is Low Alpine's version of Gore-Tex, and I can assure you, after all the rain we've had today, I'm bone dry still. So yeah, a good buy off eBay. I think it cost me about £35. As you've noticed, I'm pretty much into my greens. I'm not a bright coloured kind of fella, although I do like red, and I do appreciate the fact that bright colours are much more visible on the fells if you get into trouble and need rescued. Some big bags of stones. They must be doing a bit of work on the path. That big thick coat of Billy's really does protect him in this weather. This is the weather he excels in, much better than the hot days for Billy. We do have a jacket for him, and if this weather continues to go downhill like this, he'll be wearing it very soon, because I think summer's forgotten about autumn and we've gone straight into winter. This is where we got to cross the beck into Ruddy Gill. Doesn't look too bad. Playtime for Billy. And we're just heading into Ruddy Gill. And it can hold a lot of water, so it could be quite impressive. We got a bit of white water, a little bit of an obstacle. Go on, lad. That's what we were just on the edge of. The footbridge here is where Ruddy Gill drops into Grange Gill. Grange Gill in the bottom there, coming in from the right. And just look at that view down into Borrowdale from Grange Gill. The crag straight in front of me across Grange Gill is Hind Crag. That's the crag we passed earlier this morning when we went up Hind Gill. Just a bit further down here we're going to cross Stockley Bridge, and then it's just a nice easy trod back to the farm at Seathwaite. And here we are at Stockley Bridge where we're going to cross Grange Gill. So we're not too far away now from the farm, about half a mile. Give you a rundown of the walk up Hine Gill. Absolute fantastic direct descent onto Glaramara. I'll give it a 10 out of 10, definitely. If you're wanting to do that Glaramara ridge including Allen Crags, it's probably the shortest descent in total by the time we get to the farm, about 7 mile. So yeah, fantastic route. There it is. I'm going to wrap the video up here and say thank you for watching. It's been a biblical kind of day, first day of winter, but it's been a fantastic walk, not complaining one bit. I'd like to say thank you for all your subscribes and comments. Bye from me, bye from our lad, the Rockstar. Have you noticed when I say goodbye, he always stops and waits and lets me past? That's him saying goodbye. Today's walk starts from Seathwaite Farm down Borrowdale. From Grange Gill we took a left and steeply ascended Hine Gill. Once reaching the top of Hine Gill, we then head for the summit of Glaramara. From the summit of Glaramara we head over to Luckingsteads and then across to Glaramara's south top, Redbeck Top. Then drop down into the Call passing High House Tarn to reach the summit of Allen Crags. From Allen Crags we drop down to the shelter, then drop down into Ruddy Gill, and then eventually Grange Gill, crossing Stockley Bridge and back to the car.